Hello and welcome to my channel today, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Samuel Brown Cheche. You can call me Mighty Brown. I'm a US RN, UK RN and Ghana RN. If you haven't done this already, could you please subscribe to my channel and put the notification bell on so that we can continue to bring you helpful guides and tips on a lot of subjects. Okay, we're going to discuss a very interesting topic today that I know you definitely don't want to miss on. So why don't you just stick with me for the next few minutes as we dig deeper into this exciting and interesting subject. Right, we're going to discuss a very interesting topic today, specifically for overseas nurses who are aspiring to work in the US. So if you are an overseas nurse that you are looking forward to applying for a license to practice in the US, that is the US RN, then this video is for you. Applying for a license to practice in the US can be a bit challenging and due to the complex nature of the processes involved, but if you stay organized and stick to this advice or tips, you would find it very much achievable and a bit easier. I'll give you a brief overview about the process with regards to what it entails. First of all, you'd have to get evaluated, and what this means is basically just confirming or verifying all your nursing education and qualification credentials that you have back home in your country, what we call the credential evaluation, to verify your credential to make sure it is equivalent to the standard of the US nursing training or the US nursing degree qualification. Okay, and to do this, you would have to apply through some of these credential evaluation service providers. We have a number of them that are approved to provide these services to overseas nurses to make sure that their qualification is equivalent to that of the United States training, and popular among them are the CGFNS, and also we have the Joseph Silney and Associates. So whichever one you want to use, whether the CGFNS or Joseph Silney, they all go through similar processes, and they all work towards achieving the same goal of you matching up your credential with the requirement of the United States. So you can compare and see which of them you are more comfortable with, and then proceed with them. I'll take you through the steps as to what happens or what this credentialing evaluation services entails. So it is also very important before you begin your credential evaluation to settle on which state in the US you want to license with. Okay, so you have to first settle on one of the states. United States has a total of 50 different states, and each of these states have got its own board of nursing. Once you are able to settle on the specific state, the next thing you can do is to now register or create an account with the credentialing service provider. So if for the purpose of this discussion, I'm going to use CGFNS. So assuming you want to register with a state in the US, you've settled on the state already, and then you create an account with CGFNS. So I'll show you on the screen how it looks like when you visit the CGFNS website. I'll leave the link down below in the description so that you can follow to create the account to begin with if you want to go with CGFNS. Yeah, so this is how the home page looks like. Once you get there, you can just hover around and then go to the apply. So you can select the apply session and then just read the instructions. Here you see if you already have an account, click here. So if you've already created the account, you can click here and continue from where you left off. But if you are new, then you can select the top one and it will take you to a home, another page, another interface where you can select applicants. You say start your journey with CGFNS International. So you go to applicants and then you create account. Yeah. And when you go to create account, it will come for you to enter your details. So you can begin to enter your email address and all that. But I don't want to register for any new account, so I'll just show you what you'd see when you launch the registration form on the network or on the website. So here it contains a total of 11 sessions, and this is where you'll be uploading all your documents, all your educational materials. Okay, so you'll be required to upload your credentials for them to verify. You upload your training certificates, you upload your nursing qualification certificates, and also your IDs, the identification documents, and all that. Now let's go over the various sessions we have on the application form. Right, so just some few seconds and alright, so here this is how it looks like when you get on there. The first session is personal information. So basically this is where you're going to enter all your details, your name, email address, your home address, and all that, the country of birth, and all those details will go on here. And then you move to the next session, which says contact information. Okay, so here is where you can provide all your contact information. So the first one is basically just your biodata. The next one is contact information. The next is employment practice information. So you provide all your details regarding your past. It's a history of your previous and current employment history. Then you move to special certification information. So specialty, if you have any specialization in nursing, if you have any other specialization apart from the general nursing degree you have, you can indicate that here. Maybe you've gone for further training, or you've acquired further skills, specialized skills like emergency nursing or trauma, or maybe you are orthopedic nurse, you are pediatric nurse, whatever specialty you have, you can add that one. If you don't have any of them as well, don't worry. You can move to the next stage, and that is continuing education or evaluation. So this place too, you can indicate any continuing professional development you've ever had. And so you are just going to fill in the form. Once you click on this, it takes you to that session, and then you know what they are required of you. You just fill in the form, and then the next session is licensure and registration information. So that is where you have to provide the number of licensure or license or pins that you have. If some people have multiple licensure qualifications, some people have multiple licenses from different countries, so you can indicate that over here. But don't forget to indicate the country you first trained in. So you indicate the license you have from the country you first trained, and then if you have any other license from a different country, you can indicate that also here. When you are done, you move to the next to take you to, so once you finish, you just click next as you fill the form, and it will move you to the next stage, and it will bring you to licensure registration examination. So the difference between this and the previous one is, with the previous one, you are providing details about your licensure or the license itself, and then the regulators, those that issue them to you. And then at this stage, they are requesting licensure registration examination. So the various examinations you've taken to acquire those previous ones. So if, for instance, if you are a nurse in your home country, you sat for your nursing board exam in your country, and you had it, for instance, for a Ghanaian, you sat with the NMC Ghana and had your Ghana registered nurse license pin to practice. Now, when you relocate to the UK, you'll be having another exam in UK to make you qualify to practice in the UK. So that will also have to be captured here. So the Ghana one will be the license in Ghana will be by training, okay? and then after the training you had an examination which you were now issued a license. But then when you come to UK, it's more of just like the US process. So it's a special exam that you take with the UK NMC, that is the OSCE, Objective Structured Clinical Examination, that you take, and as well as the CBT. So once you pass those exams, you'll be issued license as well to work in the UK. If it's a different country like Australia, Canada, wherever it is, you'll be required to meet certain requirements within that country before you be issued a license. So you provide all those details or the type of exam you wrote to acquire the license. You can indicate them here, and then when you are done, it will take you to the next stage, that's general education information. And so that is also this is more of self-explanatory. So you enter your educational information here, and then when you finish, the other thing you need is the English language proficiency test. So when you get to the English language proficiency test, you'd have to now confirm with the states you are registering with to know their requirement, the specific requirement. But generally, most of the states require a minimum of 6.5 total if you are using IELTS, okay? And in the US, mostly they accept IELTS and TOEFL, but depending on which state, as I said earlier, you'd have to confirm with the state. And it appears majority of those states that require English language proficiency proof do accept IELTS. Okay, so if you have an IELTS, if you've been able to take the IELTS exam and passed, you are required to have a band score of 6.5 overall, and then a minimum of 7 for the speaking. Okay, so that is the general requirement. Once you have this requirement, you can upload that here as well, and when you finish, it will take you to the personal profile summary, where it will show you a summary of all the entries you've made, all the data you've entered. And so you can go through and see if there are any mistakes. If you want to review, if you want to correct some errors somewhere, then you have the opportunity to do that at that point. So if you are able to complete this form on the CGFNS website, then you can click on submit. And the fee for this credentialing service varies, okay? It's depending on which type of service you are subscribing to. If it's CGFNS, you'd have to confirm the current fee, because it's not static, but then it ranges between, currently it's between 400 to 500. Just confirm on their website what the current rate is. The fee for the other service providers too, you can check on their website, and I'll leave the link of some of the popular ones in the description so that you can follow up and compare the prices, and then decide on which of them you actually want to work with. So when you finish, it is recommended, or it is advisable to start with the credentialing early, because it can take a few weeks to months for it to go through, or for you to have the report done. So after confirming with which state board you want to register with, and also deciding on which credentialing service you want to go with, and you now register with your service provider, in this case which is the CGFNS. After registering and paying your fee, you now have to provide the English language proficiency and all the requirements on their website. And also remember, depending on which country you are applying from, you will be required to forward your transcripts, okay, from your school, your tertiary institution, as well as your licensing details from your regulator or from your home country to CGFNS directly. Okay, so you would have to make contact, depending on the protocol in your country. You would have to contact your regulatory body, that is the NMC of your country, and then let them know that you have applied for credential and evaluation with CGFNS. So every board has got their own process, the procedure how to obtain this transcript and qualification. So you contact your school, your tertiary institution, make arrangement with them to forward your transcript directly to CGFNS in US, and then your home country NMC would also have to forward your qualification details to them as well. Okay, now once these two institutions have been able to forward your details to CGFNS, then they will be able to complete their credentialing process. Then they'll be able to issue you out with a report indicating that indeed you meet the requirements. Now once this is successful, you will now be able to move to the next stage, which is to register with the board of nursing that you are doing the credentialing for. Okay, so remember, the first step is to do the credentialing evaluation, and then after that you now have to register and pay on the board of nursing website for the state that you are applying to. Okay, so for instance, if you want to practice, or if you want to be licensed in the state of any of the United States, in the state of New York, in the state of Massachusetts, in the state of California, what you have to do is to go to their board of nursing websites. Okay, and just as you registered with CGFNS, you go onto their website as well and then register with them, and you'll be paying an application fee, okay, a registration fee, and this fee also varies. So you'd have to confirm with the board of nursing you want to register with how much their fee is. So you register, provide your details, and then pay for the fee. And also know, you have to be certain that the board of nursing actually accepts the credential evaluation from CGFNS, because not every board has their own way of confirming or verifying the educational and qualification details of the applicants. So if your board of nursing is one of those that accept the CES from CGFNS, then you are good to go. You apply, provide all the necessary details, pay the necessary fee, and then after paying this fee and registering with your board of nursing, the next step to do is to register with Pearson VUE. Now Pearson VUE is also the body that administers the NCLEX-RN for all nurses that want to practice in the US. And after passing this exam, then you will now be issued a license to work in the US as a nurse. And the NCLEX-RN is the National Council Licensure Examination for registered nurses. Okay, so there are different types of NCLEX, so you have to be sure that the NCLEX you are going for is the NCLEX-RN. So you'd have to register with Pearson VUE before you'll be able to take the NCLEX-RN. So you visit their website. I'll leave the link also down in the comments section, the description down below. You follow the link, you create an account. Once the account is created, you would have to pay a registration amount also with Pearson VUE, and that fee will be for the administration of the NCLEX exam, okay, the NCLEX-RN. So that fee would also depending on when you are applying, but do confirm as well before you proceed or before you register. So you register with Pearson VUE and pay their recommended fee or their approved fee. So after that has been done, you now have to start. I'll do another video on how you can prepare for this exam, how you can effectively plan and prepare to be able to pass the NCLEX-RN. However, I've given some tips and guides earlier in one of the past videos. However, I will still do more videos. Just keep checking on this channel for more guides and tips on how to successfully pass your NCLEX-RN exam. After registering, you need to schedule for the NCLEX exam. The next, what you need to schedule for this exam is the authorization to test. You need a special code from your Board of Nursing, which is termed as the authorization to test. So that authorization to test is a form of a confirmation that they have received your application and they have reviewed all your credentials information, and that they have been able to verify that you are okay, you are good to register with them. Once that email comes from the Board of Nursing, it is known as the authorization to test. They have expiration dates, so read your notes carefully to know the window period within which you are required to sit for the NCLEX exam. Okay, after which you will not be able to sit unless you begin the process all over again, unless you reapply to the Board of Nursing again for another authorization to test. So you have to also confirm this information with your Board of Nursing when the email comes. Look out and read carefully and note the instructions in the email so that you will not be caught up in time. So after confirming your authorization to test, you can now go ahead and schedule for the NCLEX exam on the Pearson VUE website. Wherever you are, we have test centers across the whole world, even though it's not in every country. So whichever country you are, you'd have to confirm the nearest test center so that you can schedule for the exam and then prepare adequately towards it. And that is where some people, if you are working with an agency, the agencies will normally take care of all this for you. They will take care of the booking, they will book your flights and all that and pay for your preparation. But if you are doing everything as self-sponsored, then you can go ahead and then book for or schedule for the NCLEX exam. So after passing your NCLEX-RN successfully, hey, congratulations, and you are now a USRN. Your license will be issued to you by the Board of Nursing, and depending on the Board of Nursing, some of them take a few days, 2 weeks, some even a few, I would say 2 weeks or a month. Some are able to issue licenses within 24 hours to 48 hours. After getting your license, congratulations, you are now a USRN. The next thing is to now decide when you want to move to the US to start working as a nurse, because after getting your license, then you have the green card to start practicing in the US as a registered nurse. And there are two main routes to migrating to work in the US as a nurse. One is the H-1B visa and the other is the EB-3 visa. I'll do separate videos also on these two types of visas and compare them so that you know which one is better for you, better option for you. Both visas comes with their own benefits and demerits, so I'll do a separate video on this type of visas and explain further for you to appreciate which one would be a better option for your situation. Also, another thing to consider about migrating to the US has to do with whether you want to apply directly yourself to the employers or you want to apply through a staffing agency. And also, this is a broad area which I'll also be providing you details into in subsequent videos. So why don't you subscribe to the channel now? If you are learning something or if you are getting something helpful, just subscribe to the channel, put on your notification bell, like the video, share, and we'll be able to continue coming your way with more useful information on other subjects as well. So in the next video, we'll be doing some of these things, giving more details. Also comment down below in this comment section. Let me know what clarification or what details you want me to touch on. Ask any question and I'll be there to answer you. Thank you for watching. That is an overview of how you can apply for a license in the United States and how you can migrate to work in the US. as an overseas nurse. Thank you very much for watching. I know the entire process can be challenging and complex, but if you stay organized and remain focused and taking everything one step at a time, you will definitely be able to achieve it, because many other people have been able to go through this successfully and are happily practicing in the US right now. So you also can. And always remember, God is interested in your progress, okay? Until we meet again, my name is Samuel Brown Cheche. You can call me Mighty Brown. And once again, God is not dead. Thank you for watching.